Hello, I'm back again after a very rough summer semester. Sorry it took me so long to catch you up, but I said I was going to continue to document my journey, so here I am. Um, just recovering mentally from a very rough semester. Summer semester was overwhelming because once again I did what I said you shouldn't do in other videos, which is overwhelm yourself. As a law student, specifically speaking to non traditional law students with full time jobs and families, you should not take on more than you can handle. And that's kind of what I did, not on purpose. I was basically forced to because of my schedule and the classes available to me. Because I'm not a traditional student, I was forced to take on 3 classes this semester and an externship while continuing to work full time. And then, if you're a parent, your kids are out for the summer. I do not recommend it. It was highly stressful. I really don't know what my grades are going to look like. I feel like I failed a class. I honestly do. But at this point, I'm more in survival mode. I'm not even striving to be the best. I mean, I'm probably mediocre, like I said before. My grades in the spring were good, but this semester was very, very rough for me, and I do not recommend it. If you can avoid it at all costs, do not take on more than you can handle, especially in the summer months when the semester is condensed into a smaller amount of time and you have your children who maybe you couldn't afford to take them to camp. The gas prices got crazy this summer, so I kind of opted out of camp. So they're here with me. They're here with me now. They may come in during this video. But I want to talk a little bit about some more uplifting things other than the trauma that I experienced this semester. Is that I got to go to a couple of networking things, and I think I may have even mentioned this before, and I want to reiterate the value of the non-traditional law student or the non-traditional um, like a newly minted lawyer coming in that already has a lot of experience. I will tell you, law firms are interested. They are interested in you. They are interested in us because we bring instant value to the table. We will allow them, I guess, to justify the rates that that they're charging people, that their clients. I mean, you just think about it. When you have a traditional student who has really no experience other than that they received in law school and maybe an internship here or there, they like if they went to like a top 10 law school or even a top 50 law school, they're getting paid crazy salaries, and their clients are using these new lawyers with no real experience but are still being charged these crazy rates. So in my opinion, if they hired somebody like us, it's justifiable in that we have at least some worldly experience to bring to the table. We might have a background that is very specific to what that law firm litigates, and they are interested. Law firms are interested in us. So I think I was rather pessimistic when I first came on and first started doing this. It's like, oh, I'm not traditional. I'm old. There are some advantages to this. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a dig on the traditional student. They have a lot of things going for them that maybe perhaps I cannot offer, such as energy, or the ability to work 50, 60, 70 hours. There's no way I could do that with a family. Maybe they are malleable, whereas maybe I'm not, because I have been around long enough to know what's right, what's wrong, the proper way to go about something from an ethics standpoint. Just throwing out examples. You know me, I just kind of like talk. I don't plan anything out, so I'm kind of like going off the top of the dome right now. But yes, we do have value. So again, if you're considering taking on or changing careers in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s, whatever, don't be afraid, because there is interest out there. And I want to also say that what I've learned, and this probably goes for anybody, not whether you're traditional or not, it really is all about who you know in the the legal field as far as getting a job. A lot of people that I've spoken with, even new lawyers or people who are seasoned, they got their job because of who they know. It's really not about what you know; it's who you know. So those networking opportunities, I know it sounds really cliche, but it is absolutely true. Get to know your community, get to know your bar associations, all of that. And not only just meet them and greet them at the networking, but follow up with them in an email. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to this event. Are you going to go? We went to the same law school. Do you remember Professor So-and-so? Like, all of those relationships could lead to some sort of employment. And I'm not saying anything brand new here, but I've just heard it from others, and it's kind of solidified. It's true. It's not just some tagline on social media. Oh, network. No, this is real. It really is about who you know. And another last thing I wanted to say, I just want to encourage everybody to keep on pushing, because it is going to be I think the non-traditional students that could possibly change the way the legal field operates. As I've said before, it's a very conservative environment. They do not like change. They're against online. A lot of the professors, they don't like to teach online, and unfortunately, like, that's kind of going to be the future. It's going to be some aspect of our educational system, whether you're in medicine or whether you're in business. Working with one another online is here to stay. And unfortunately, there's a lot of professors and maybe even practitioners that just don't believe in change. And I think that serves as a way to keep intact the preservation of these exclusive groups of law folks who make these crazy salaries, and they just serve as a barrier, a barrier to entry, so to speak. Because if we, and not to mention the cost of law school already. You have hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. You may want to have a passion to go and serve and help less fortunate and fight for a cause, but you can't. You can't, because they don't pay a lot, right? And you can't take a job, or you can't pay off your loans. And law school costs to me are yet another barrier to entry. So I know I'm kind of like rambling on here a bit, but I just really see a lot of opportunity for change in the way that law is taught and in the way it is practiced. There's a lot of injustice in law, and once you start taking it, you'll realize that the only people who really get justice are those who can buy it. Most people can't afford lawyers. There's why is it so crazy? I mean, I'm not, some of you may be going into law for the money, but that's not my primary motivation, is to go into this for the money. But it's that mindset, that protectionist mindset, that keeps most regular folks out, even people like me. Just an example, just to get started in law school, the costs, the LSAT, right? This is an example. When I first did the LSAT, I think I told you guys my grade was terrible. My score was terrible. I did it a second time. I studied on my own. The score was terrible. But the third time, I coughed up the $1,000 or so plus for a prep course, and my score instantly improved. Now, am I a better person? Did I get smarter? Do I have more to offer because I could pass an LSAT test, or I got a higher score in the LSAT test? It just seems to me as another barrier to entry. If you can afford to pay for the LSAT prep, then you can get into law school, and then so on and so forth, right? But did I change as a person? No, I didn't. So I think you're going to see a lot of law schools really considering the role of the almighty LSAT, because they really do. They, meaning law schools, boil us down to stats. They boil us down to GPA, and they boil us down to the almighty LSAT. And it is not a fair predictor. I've had someone in my class that had a crazy LSAT score. They could have gone to any school they wanted to. That person has since dropped out, right? It is not the silver bullet. You know, we put a lot of weight on the LSAT, and I just I just have this personal thing with, like, I know I'm the same person now. I got a better score now, I can get in, but I'm not the same. I didn't change. That's my whole issue there. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling today. I'm in between semesters. I have stuff already on my plate because that's how it is when you're part-time but you go year round. You really don't get a break. I don't want to discourage anyone. I always encourage you, especially if you are a non-traditional student. I want to come up with something like non-trad nation or something that's going to be just for us, because I really do get excited about seeing different types of people. And I'm not just talking about different colors of people. I'm talking about different backgrounds, different experiences, different age, different regions, different cultural, preferences, things like that. I am all about different types of people entering into the world of law. I really think it will change it and break down barriers and maybe provide access to more people, because right now no one really has access, only those who can afford it, right? So, all right, that's my spiel. I really hope I pass this summer. If I didn't, I'm going to update a video. I'll probably be crying. This has not been an easy journey for me. This has been very traumatizing at points. But just stay tuned, stick with me. I'm going to let y'all know I'm not going to give up, and neither should you. All right.